I was diagnosed informally with BPD in 2005. It was definitely offered to me. I know that's not everyone's experience of receiving this diagnosis, but the CAT team was called by my partner because I was suicidal, self-harming and had explosive anger, and my partner was like, I don't know what to do, maybe we should get some mental health help, and we called the CAT team and they said, sometimes when people have these experiences, they have this diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, maybe you should read up about it. And I did. I read a lot. I'm a very big nerd. At the time, I was an academic at uni, at Melbourne Uni. I was working as a researcher, as a lecturer, tutor in linguistics, but also I was moving into sociology and politics. And what I read didn't really make sense to me. As a critical thinker, it actually felt like people were saying, you have BPD because you have these symptoms, and you have these symptoms because you have BPD, and you have these, and it just felt like this, but why? Like, well, how does it make sense? And it just felt really confusing to me. And so I just kept reading and reading and reading anything I could that would make sense of my experiences. And then I stumbled across the work of Miranda Epstein, who Julian mentioned, she identifies herself as a high-profile nutcase. She's definitely one of the leaders of the consumer survivor movement in Australia. She's won a Human Rights Award for her work. She did a lot of work with Spectrum over the years. She's been on a lot of national committees. She's just been very, very active in making sense of how mental health services might respond to the experiences that people have. And so through Miranda, I became part of the International Consumer Survivor Ex-Patient Movement, which is sometimes what it's called. Basically, Miranda would say, here's this person, you should meet them. And I got to meet a lot of really amazing people. I worked at an organisation called Our Consumer Place, and I got to, from that role, I got to call people and interview them and say, hi, my name's Flick, can I interview you? And so just got to meet a lot of people around the world that were trying to make sense of experiences from the inside. So a bit like anthropology kind of has tended to look at cultures and from the outside and kind of, anthropology's changed a lot, but historically, it's kind of been, look at these people. And then Indigenous people or, people from various cultures have spoken back and have said, actually, this is how we make sense. And so for me, the consumer survivor ex-patient movement has really been grounded in how do we make sense of our experiences from a sense of a we.